Did you know that in Japan, many seniors follow a quiet, powerful philosophy called danshari, the practice of releasing what no longer serves you? It's not about living with nothing. It's about choosing what truly matters. In kitchens across Japan, this simple mindset is helping older adults transform cluttered, stressful spaces into calm, easy-to-use sanctuaries. No expensive renovations, no trendy storage hacks, just timeless habits built around peace, intention, and ease. And here's the surprising part. Seniors in the US are now adopting these same techniques and discovering they can actually cook, clean, and move around more confidently, even in smaller homes or apartments. These aren't just cultural quirks. They're life-changing routines tailored to aging bodies and busy minds. Imagine opening your kitchen drawer and instantly finding what you need. Imagine feeling relaxed, not rushed when you prepare a simple meal. If you've ever looked around your kitchen and thought, "Why does this space make me so tense?" You're not alone. But you don't need to start from scratch. You just need a fresh perspective. If you're over 60 and ready to bring more clarity, more ease, and more joy into your kitchen, hit that like button and subscribe to Wise Aging Seniors. You're about to discover 8 powerful tricks from Japanese minimalism that can completely shift how your kitchen feels, starting today. Osako is 72 years old. She lives in a quiet apartment tucked between 2 shrines in the eastern hills of Kyoto. A retired calligrapher, her days are slow and deliberate, marked by brush strokes, morning tea, and the faint sound of wind chimes in the courtyard. But what strikes most visitors isn't her art, it's her kitchen. Not because it's large or filled with modern appliances. It isn't. It's small, with a single wooden table, soft lighting, and open shelves. But it feels like breathing in fresh air. Everything has its place. Everything is calm. Osako wasn't always this way. After her husband passed away 8 years ago, she found herself surrounded by too many things. Pots she no longer used, cups she didn't remember owning, tiny drawers filled with items from a life that no longer fit her rhythm. "It felt heavy," she said once. "I realized I was cooking for ghosts." Then she remembered her grandmother's words. Life doesn't ask for more space. It asks for more peace. That's when Osako began leaning into the old principles of Japanese minimalism. Not to follow a trend, but to survive with grace. She didn't throw everything away overnight. She started with 1 drawer, then a cabinet. She removed what she didn't use, what didn't feel like her anymore. Slowly, her kitchen became a reflection of her now, not her past. Her chopping board, polished with years of use. 1 ceramic bowl, handmade by her friend. A single teacup she uses every day, and nothing more. Even the sound inside her kitchen changed. No more clattering, no more frantic searching. Just quiet. Today, Osako's kitchen helps her feel steady. It grounds her. She says she can move more easily because there's less to navigate. She doesn't forget where things are because there aren't too many things to forget. And more importantly, she feels emotionally lighter, like her kitchen finally fits her stage of life. Her secret? 8 timeless habits rooted in Japanese minimalism, practices that don't require money, storage bins, or redesigns. Just a willingness to begin. Trick 1. The empty counter rule. Every evening, just before she boils water for tea, Osako wipes her kitchen counter clean. She doesn't do it out of obsession or habit, but because she says it helps her breathe. Her counter holds only 2 things: a black cast iron kettle and a small glass vase with a single seasonal flower. No stacks of mail, no spice rack, no appliance lineup, just space. In many Japanese homes, this kind of visual simplicity is sacred. It's not about impressing guests, it's about respecting the energy of the room. And for seniors, especially, there's a quiet power in that. Because let's face it, when you're over 60, every unnecessary item can turn into friction. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Think about it. How many times have you gone to prepare a meal and had to push aside a coffee grinder, a stack of napkins, a bottle of vitamins, or a loaf of bread that somehow lived on your counter for a week? It seems small, But those constant micro obstacles add up. They slow you down. They frustrate you. And over time, they steal a little of the joy from something as basic as making breakfast. Now imagine if the first thing you saw each morning was an empty, peaceful countertop. Nothing calling for your attention. No mental to-do list triggered by clutter. Just openness. You'd likely feel calmer before your day even began. That's the idea behind the empty counter rule. For Osako, this nightly ritual is like clearing her mind. She says it helps her sleep better. For others, it becomes a visual reset, reminding them that tomorrow is a fresh start, not a continuation of yesterday's mess. And it's not all or nothing. You don't need to clear the entire counter in one sweep. Just choose one item that doesn't need to be there. Maybe it's the blender you only use once a week. Maybe it's that pile of unread coupons. Maybe it's the fifth mug you didn't know you'd left out. Start small. Clear a corner. Then another. Let your counter become quiet again. Not because it has to be perfect, but because you deserve a space that supports your peace. What's one thing you could remove from your counter tonight? Try it, and see how much lighter your kitchen begins to feel. Trick 2. One drawer, one purpose. When Osako opens her top left drawer in the morning, she doesn't need to think. Her teapot is there. Her two favorite cups. A small tin of matcha powder sealed with a cloth ribbon. That's it. One drawer, one purpose. Tea. This may sound overly simple, but for seniors, especially those juggling medication routines, meal prep, or moments of forgetfulness, this small organizing strategy can be a game changer. Instead of grouping items by type, all utensils here, all containers there, Osako organizes by action. She has a drawer for tea, another for breakfast tools, her toast knife, small plate, and jam spoon. One holds items she uses while cooking soup. It's not about perfection, it's about predictability. As we age, our ability to multitask declines. Reaching into a drawer filled with random kitchen tools can quickly become frustrating. The brain wastes energy filtering through a cluttered space to find a single item. But when each drawer is assigned to a clear purpose, you don't have to figure things out every time. You just follow a rhythm, and rhythm builds confidence. This approach also taps into something deeply physical, muscle memory. When you consistently open the same drawer for the same task, your body begins to move without hesitation, even if your mind is tired. This is especially powerful on foggy mornings or after restless nights. You're not searching, you're simply flowing. In Japanese minimalism, this isn't just a trick, it's a form of care. Care for the body, care for the brain, care for the day ahead. And it can be incredibly calming for seniors who feel overwhelmed by too many decisions packed into one small space. If your drawers are currently filled with a bit of everything, tea strainers next to batteries, or scissors tangled with soy sauce packets, this might be your moment to reset. Start with just one. Choose an activity you do every day, like making tea or preparing breakfast. Empty a drawer. Only place items inside that belong to that specific ritual. See how it changes your morning. When every drawer has a purpose, your kitchen becomes more than organized. It becomes intuitive. And for seniors over 60, there's nothing more empowering than a space that supports you without asking anything extra from you. Trick 3. Cherish one everyday tool. In Osako's kitchen, there are no rows of shiny, unopened gadgets collecting dust. No drawer stuffed with 5 whisks or 3 bottle openers. But just to the right of her stove, hanging on a small wooden peg, is a single bamboo strainer, worn smooth from years of use. It's not fancy, it's not new, but it's hers. And it's the tool she uses nearly every day to rinse rice or drain vegetables with quiet satisfaction. Japanese minimalism doesn't just emphasize fewer things. It teaches us to value the things we do keep, especially the ones that serve us with quiet consistency. For Osako, that strainer is more than a utensil. It's a companion in her daily rhythm. She touches it with familiarity. It reminds her of her mother, who used a similar one when Osako was a child. It reminds her of home. For seniors, there's something deeply grounding about choosing one tool to celebrate, instead of crowding our space with many we never touch. And this isn't about function alone, it's about emotion. Older adults often form bonds with objects that hold memory, comfort, or a sense of ritual. A perfectly weighted ladle, a butter knife from a wedding gift set, a ceramic teacup that fits just right in the hand. These aren't just tools, they're tiny threads that connect us to a sense of identity. In a culture that constantly tells us we need newer, smarter, more complicated gadgets, this mindset is refreshingly honest. Most of us already have what we need. We just don't take the time to notice it. And in doing so, we overlook how powerful one familiar item can be in bringing order, peace, and emotional warmth to our kitchen routines. So what would happen if, instead of buying something new, you chose to display one everyday tool you already love? Not to impress, but to honor. Maybe it's your grandmother's spoon. Maybe it's the skillet that cooks every Sunday egg just right. Maybe it's your favorite mug with the chip on the rim, but it still makes you smile. Which kitchen tool brings you the most comfort when you use it? Tell us in the comments. And consider giving that one item a place of quiet pride in your home. Trick 4. The silent bowl principle. In Osako's kitchen, there are no brightly patterned plates shouting for attention. No neon-colored spatulas or mismatched mugs with flashy logos. Instead, her cabinets hold soft white bowls, simple wooden utensils, and cups in muted earth tones. There's a kind of hush to it all, a quiet visual language that speaks of calm, clarity, and intention. This isn't just about style, it's about function, especially for seniors. As we age, our eyes become more sensitive to contrast, and our brains work harder to filter visual noise. Bright colors and bold patterns can become overstimulating, triggering low-grade anxiety or mental fatigue without us even realizing it. Too much visual input, especially in a space where heat, timing, and coordination are involved, can make cooking or even just preparing a snack feel overwhelming. That's why Osako follows what she calls the silent bowl principle. She believes that neutral-colored dishes and tools create a softer visual experience. They don't compete for your attention. Instead, they allow the food, the hands, and the moment itself to take center stage. There's no jarring orange plate or checkered cup pulling her focus away from the task at hand. Just a quiet backdrop for a peaceful daily ritual. And this idea isn't unique to her. In fact, US designers are beginning to recognize the value of what's now called Japandi style, a thoughtful blend of Japanese minimalism and Scandinavian warmth. It's showing up more and more in senior-focused kitchen designs because it creates environments that are not only beautiful, but soothing. Softwood textures, matte finishes, neutral tones. These are all being used intentionally to reduce cognitive stress and promote slower, more mindful movement in the kitchen. If your cabinets are full of plates that clash or utensils that make your drawers feel loud before you even open them, try this. Choose one or two soft-toned items to use regularly. Maybe it's a plain white bowl. Maybe it's a wooden spoon that just feels right in your hand. Let the rest take a break for a while. Sometimes peace doesn't come from silence and sound, but silence and color. And for seniors who crave focus and calm in their daily routines, that kind of quiet is worth everything. Trick 5. Just 3 knives. In Osako's kitchen drawer, you won't find a row of knives lined up like a hardware store display. There's no bulky knife block or 10-piece set with blades she never touches. She owns exactly 3. A chef's knife for chopping, a small paring knife for peeling and trimming, and a slender fish knife she's used since her 20s. That's it. And what's more, she sharpens them every Sunday. It's a simple ritual, slow, quiet, meditative. She doesn't do it out of duty. She does it because when her tools are sharp, she feels sharp. When she cuts with ease, she feels capable. For Osako, fewer tools doesn't mean limitation. It means liberation. Here's the truth. Most seniors in the US have far more kitchen tools than they actually use. It's not intentional. These things just accumulate over time. A knife set gifted decades ago. A vegetable chopper bought during a TV sale. A drawer full of mismatched blades, all dull, but somehow hard to let go of. The problem isn't just clutter, it's friction. Every extra item becomes one more decision, one more object to maintain, or one more thing to move aside when you're just trying to make lunch. As we age, reducing decision fatigue is one of the kindest things we can do for ourselves. When you know exactly which knife to reach for, and you trust it to work, you save time, energy, and even reduce the risk of injury from struggling with dull or unfamiliar tools. Think of Osako's system as kitchen minimalism with muscle memory. She doesn't wonder what to use or where it is. Her hands know. Her mind is clear. And because she uses each knife regularly, she actually maintains them well, which makes cooking not only easier, but more enjoyable. You don't have to throw away all your knives today, but maybe open that drawer and take a look. How many do you actually reach for in a typical week? Are there a few you haven't touched in years? Could you let a few go and keep only the ones that truly serve you? How many kitchen tools do you use daily versus the ones just taking up space? Let us know in the comments. Because when your tools work for you, not against you, your kitchen becomes a place of ease, not effort. Trick 6. Dishwashing as meditation. When Osako finishes her meal, she doesn't leave her plate in the sink. She doesn't rush to the living room or turn on the television. Instead, she fills a small basin with warm water, rolls up her sleeves, and begins to wash, slowly, intentionally, while her tea steeps nearby. To her, this isn't a chore. It's a quiet act of care, a way to close the chapter of the meal she just enjoyed, a rhythm that tells her body and mind, the day is in order. You're cared for. In many Japanese households, especially among older adults, dishwashing is not seen as a task to rush through or avoid. It's treated as a ritual, a simple, repetitive motion that allows the mind to settle. The hands are busy, but the thoughts slow down. This pairing of gentle physical movement with soft focus is something modern researchers now link to reduced anxiety, better sleep, and improved cognitive function, especially in seniors. And the beauty of this habit is that it requires no planning, no fancy tools, no extra time. You're going to do the dishes anyway. But how you do them can change everything. When your sink is clean before the sun goes down, your kitchen whispers a kind of calm. When your plate is washed and put away before the next thing pulls at your attention, your mind doesn't carry the weight of what's undone. For seniors who are already juggling medical appointments, changing routines, or the emotional heaviness that can come with aging, this one quiet habit becomes a form of grounding. It says, you're not behind. You're already doing enough. And there's something symbolic here too. Dishwashing marks an ending. It signals completion, just as making the bed signals a fresh start in the morning. It's a soft boundary that can help seniors feel more in control of their time and space, especially when so much else feels unpredictable. Try it. After your next meal, pause before walking away. Fill the sink. Breathe. Let your hands do the work slowly. No rush. No distraction. Notice how it feels. Just like tidying your bed in the morning starts your day right, cleaning your dishes at night can end it with peace. And sometimes, that one quiet habit is all it takes to feel like life is back in balance. Trick 7. Hidden trash, visible peace. Step into Osako's kitchen, and you might notice something's missing. There's no visible trash can, no plastic bin by the door, no oversized lid disrupting the soft, quiet flow of the room. Instead, her trash is tucked neatly under the sink, concealed behind a linen curtain. It's easy for her to reach, but it never steals her attention. And that's exactly the point. In Japanese minimalism, the goal isn't just tidiness, it's visual harmony. Every object the eye sees adds to, or subtracts from, your mental calm. A visible trash bin, even when clean, still signals waste. It's an unconscious reminder of mess, of tasks undone, of things we'd rather not think about. For seniors, especially those spending more time at home, that constant background noise can quietly wear on the mind. Osako's approach isn't just elegant, it's practical. She doesn't need to remember to empty the bin every day because its small size requires it naturally. That's the genius of it. Instead of overflowing with forgotten garbage, her small, hidden container keeps her in rhythm. She empties it regularly without it becoming a burden or eyesore. And while this might sound like a luxury of Japanese design, the truth is, it's entirely adaptable. Even if you live in a US home with a standard kitchen, you can apply the same principle. A small lid had been placed inside a lower cabinet. A curtain hung with adhesive hooks under the sink. A pull-out drawer that conceals both trash and recycling. It doesn't take remodeling, it just takes rethinking. The result? A kitchen that feels lighter the moment you walk in. No harsh plastic shapes breaking the visual flow. No lingering odors catching your attention every time you pass by. Just a quiet, intentional space that supports ease and order. This trick isn't about hiding what's necessary. It's about elevating what's visible. It's about choosing what your eyes rest on throughout the day. For seniors who may feel mentally taxed by too much stimulation or overwhelmed by constant reminders of tasks, this simple change can make a profound difference. So take a look. Where's your trash bin right now? Is it working for your peace or stealing from it? A small shift in placement could open the door to a surprising sense of calm. Trick 8. Seasonal rotation, not accumulation. Osako's kitchen doesn't stay the same all year. When summer arrives, she brings down a lightweight bowl set used specifically for cold soba noodles and refreshing fruit salads. As autumn creeps in, those bowls are gently boxed and stored, replaced by heavier soup pots and a kettle she uses more often during cooler months. Nothing is thrown away. Nothing is hidden forever. It's simply rotated, purposefully, gently, like a conversation with the seasons. This idea, seasonal rotation, is deeply rooted in Japanese living. It's a quiet refusal to let the kitchen become a permanent storage space for everything we've ever used, regardless of time or temperature. Instead, it invites seniors to align their kitchen with how they actually live now. Not how they used to cook, not how they might one day entertain again, but what they truly need today. For older adults in the US, this mindset can be both freeing and practical. As our bodies age, lifting heavy items, digging through overstuffed cabinets, or searching through rarely used dishes becomes more than inconvenient. It becomes exhausting and sometimes even dangerous. By rotating kitchen tools and cookware based on season, we reduce clutter and create easier, safer access to what matters now. More importantly, this ritual brings intentionality and even joy to everyday cooking. There's something special about rediscovering a favorite mug as the weather turns cold, or gently storing away an ice cream scoop when autumn begins. These small moments give rhythm to our year and purpose to our space. And you don't need a storage room or labeled bins to do this. A single shelf, a box under the bed, or even the top of a hallway closet can serve as a home for seasonal items. The goal isn't minimalism for its own sake. It's to prevent buildup, both physically and emotionally. Think of your kitchen today. Are there summer tools still sitting out in January? Heavy pans you haven't touched since last winter? Baking tools that only see the light during the holidays but take up room all year long? What could you put away this season that you're not currently using? Clearing just one drawer or cabinet this way can make space, not just for your cooking, but for your peace. Osako's kitchen hasn't expanded. The walls are the same. The shelves haven't multiplied, but something about it feels larger now, more open, more alive. It's not because she added space. It's because she made room for herself. There's no pressure to perform, no need to impress. Her kitchen doesn't sparkle under perfect lighting or boast the latest gadgets. Instead, it holds something far more rare, breathability, a sense of quiet pride, a rhythm that matches her current life, not the one she left behind or the one others think she should chase. At 72, she doesn't cook every night. Some days, she simply boils water for tea. But even then, her space supports her. She knows where everything is. She moves without effort. And more importantly, She never feels overwhelmed by her own belongings. She says, "My kitchen is my breath. I can only breathe if it stays clear." And in those few words, she captures what so many seniors quietly crave. Not more stuff, but more peace. Not more storage, but more space to live freely, to think clearly, and to move with ease. This isn't about being minimalist for the sake of it. It's about reconnecting with what serves you now. Whether you're 60, 70, or 85, your home should rise to meet your needs, not weigh you down with memories of habits or tools you no longer use. Osako's kitchen became her sanctuary the moment she let it reflect her today, not her yesterday. Now it's your turn. Of the 8 Japanese tricks you just explored, which one spoke to you the most? Was it the idea of one purposeful drawer? Or the calming presence of soft, silent bowls? Maybe it was the thought of washing dishes slowly as a daily moment of peace. Whatever it was, hold on to it. Let it guide one small change in your kitchen this week. And once you try it, come back and tell us what shifted for you. Leave your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what's bringing you peace right now. And if this video made you feel lighter or reminded you that it's never too late to reclaim calm in your home, please give it a like, subscribe to Wise Aging Seniors, and share it with someone you care about. Let's age wisely, one clear drawer, one clean dish, and one peaceful morning at a time.